We're going to learn how to build a foundation stitch, right? We're going to learn how to put your yarn on the hook, how to build a foundation stitch, how to turn it, and how to do some single crochet, okay? The golden rule in crochet is don't pull too tight. You need to be able to get your crochet hook under the stitches so that you can build the next stitch. So too tight, you're going to argue with it. Too loose, it's going to look silly. However, you're going to learn that because as you do it, you're going to learn how much tension you need in order to make a good size crochet stitch. That's tension. If it's too loose, it's not enough tension. Sometimes the hook's too big. Too tight, maybe the hook's too small, or you crochet too tight. You want to get that knot, because crocheting is basically making pretty knots, and you are really making knots. So the first thing we're going to start with is we're going to make a slip stitch. Let me see if I can get this so that you can see it. So a slip stitch is basically yarn over, yarn under. See how it moves easy? This is your tail, and your tail is going to come over here and in here, and you're going to pull it. And what a slip stitch does is just that. It slips. I'll show that to you again. I'll do it on my finger. You're going to put it over. You're going to put it this. You're going to take the tail. And it doesn't matter. You don't have to do it here. In fact, give yourself some room, okay? Give yourself a tail. In any crochet project, you can snip that tail later. But anyway, we got it over. So here's my hook. My finger is my hook. And we put it over. We're going to go under. And we're going to take this tail and we're going to put it, maybe you can see it this way, through the little hole, like so. Like that. And then you're going to tighten it. And it should slip back and forth. Right? I'll do it again. One more time. Okay? This time over the hook. Let me get a bigger hook so you can see better. So here's our hook. We're going to throw the yarn. It doesn't matter which way the hook is. You could do it over here if you want, but then you have to push it. So do it by the head anyway. Right? You see? And then over this way. Do you see how that's going? It's kind of hard to hold it. So what's funny is a lot of people, when they're teaching crochet, forget that maybe you don't even know this part, right? Or we do it so fast because we've done it so often. You're going to come down, so you're making like a little loop. Like so. You're going to make sure this is over. This part's over. See that hole? You're going to put your tail in that hole. The yarn end in that hole. And then you're going to tighten it. Like so. This is okay. This is called the tail. It is okay to have one. It is okay to have a ginormous one. It is not okay to have a tiny one because it's going to be a problem for you. You need something you got to hold. You want to be able to hold it. So you're going to want to hold the tail. It'll make sense in a minute, but you're going to want to hold the tail. Okay? My stitches, I'm going to use this big one here. so you can see my stitches. So what we're going to do, right, is we're going to make the floor. Every crochet project needs a floor. We call it the foundation chain, and it's like making a little simple braid or a row of little loops. Okay, so it's like a simple braid or a row of little loops, and it is called the foundation chain. Okay, so you're going to hold your tail. See? Hold your tail. And remember how we called this the throat, so it can grab. I'm holding it in the knife. I like the knife. And see this shaft here, how I got this over here? We're going to keep it on the shaft. We're going to go over, right? If you hold it like this, you're going to grab it like that. Okay, see? Grabbing the yarn. Grabbing the yarn. That almost sounds like one of those really funky commercials. Not grabbing the yarn, grabbing the yarn. But anyway, see how the yarn gets grabbed by your hook? Remember we talked earlier today about a hook grabbing the yarn, and if it slips out, it's too little. If it's, deep in there, it's too big. You're going to see why. And you're going to pull it through your hoop. As you can see, I'm holding the tail. Trying to make that so you can see that better. I'm holding the tail, and I made a loop. You're going to go back. You're going to grab the tail, and you're going to make a loop. And again, what you're really using that throat for is to grab the yarn and pull it through the loops. This is very big because I'm doing that on purpose. I would not usually be that loose. But as you can see, you don't have to hold the tail anymore. Now you're going to hold the work because you have some room. Right? Someone else I know doesn't hold it at all, and I'm not sure how she does that, but holding the tail, we're going to, let's see, grab the thing, grab the yarn, and we're going to pull it through. I'll come up close. Grab the yarn, pull through. As you can see, we got like braids. A bunch of little loops. Okay. Grab the yarn, pull through. You should have 6, 7 on there. We're going to do more. Let's do some more. Let's get about 20 of those. How did I know you had 7? Because we can count them. Each one of these is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's how I know. We'll do 8. That's 8. Grab the yarn and pull through. I am holding the work. As you can see, I'm holding the work. And I'm just pulling through. And then I move my hand up. And I pull through. And I move my hand up on the work. And I grab the yarn. And I pull through. Unfortunately, I can't teach it left-handed, but it's the same concept. Even left-handed, you're just going to switch it over and hold it with your right. And this will be your left. And you're still going to grab the yarn and pull it over. Because this part of the yarn that you're pulling on, right here, It's just going to be on the other side for you. So if you look in the back, right? See how it's knotted together? One size pull, because that's your loop. That's your slip knot that you originally made is now being made into little knots. Right? And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's do about 20. 12. 13. That's a terrible one. See how I made that too loose? Let me show you how to fix that. So, as big as your loop is as big as the... Oh, I got my hair in the way. So when you get my age, you lose hair a lot. The bigger the loop that you pull in... Actually, I think that's my cat's hair. I do have a cat. His name is Texas, and currently he's in trouble because he goes into places he shouldn't. Anyway, see how big that is? That's too big. So what we want to do is we want to tighten it a bit on the body, on the shaft. And then grab and pull through. So again, if it's really tall, when we do that, we're going to have really loose stitches. See? Too loose. These are better. This is loose. And you don't want to go too tight, because then you won't be able to work your stitches. I'm going to have trouble because my tip is more rounded and not as sharp, so it's going to be a little harder for me to get it through my thing. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, grab and pull, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Okay, so even me, who's been doing it forever, is not super duper perfect. And you know what? That's okay. That's how it should be. So we should have 20, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now we're going to turn it. Since I want you to do 20 single stitches, let's add 2 more. So we're at 22. 21, grab, turn, and pull. 22. That's your foundation chain. Okay? That's how your foundation should look. That is almost like a braid, right? Because it is a braid. All right. I made that one too loose, I think. So I'm going to pull it apart. And I'm going to tighten it on my body. I'm going to go 21, 22. So the easiest way to pull apart, or as they call frogging, is just pull this. It'll undo the whole thing. However, I don't want you to undo anything. If you want to undo one stitch, great. But I bet you what you're doing is just good. I bet you it's just fine. I bet you're doing great. And to start over and start over and start over gets frustrating. And I think you're probably doing just fine. Okay? When I started, it wasn't perfect. Guess what? I'm still not perfect. Can I tell you how many times I don't like something and I frog it out? Yeah. So, this is 1, and you count these little V's. See the little V's there? It's called the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. If you really have never ever crocheted before, feel free to make a foundation chain as long as as long as you want, until you feel comfy with it, because it will help you feel comfy with holding your crochet hook. So the next part is we're going to do a single crochet. When you look at a pattern, it is denoted as SC. That is single crochet. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to build a wall on top of our floor. Remember, this is the foundation chain. This is the wall. This is the floor of our project. This is how we're starting. Yes, there is a magic circle, and we will learn that later. That is called crocheting in the round, and that will be a little different, and we will learn that in later lives, so in later lessons. And yeah, we'll learn 2 different ways to start crocheting in the round. So now we're going to learn the single crochet, and we're going to build a wall on our floor. Single crochet is the simplest stitch, and if you can't single crochet, you can't crochet. Every other thing is built up along that. So what we're going to do is, remember, we counted our chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. We're going to have our crochet hook in, and we're going to turn our work. So we crocheted this way, right? So now we're going to turn our work, and we're going to count 1, 2 from the crochet hook. So in the 1, 2, the little V's there, 1, 2, we're going to take our crochet hook, right? And we're going to put it through the top of both of those, so it looks like that. If you see the back side, we have the leading yarn, and we have the back of the crochet, and we have the 2 on the top, and we're going to, just like the foundation chain, we're going to go 1, grab the yarn, 2, pull it through. Now you have 2 loops. These are called loops. Now you have 2 loops on your crochet hook. You're going to grab the yarn, 1, and pull it through 1, 2 loops. Again, this is the first loop. This is our working loop. We're going to poke through the first one and the second one, right? You see that? Yarn over, pull through. You should have 2 loops on your crochet hook. Yarn over, and that's a term you're going to see a lot in crochet, is yarn over, and it's usually YO on the pattern, and you're going to pull through. And again, let me get some more yarn out here. So far I've been lucky. The yarn's actually been pulling from the middle. Sometimes it's got big knots in there for some reason. All right, again, we're going to go through 1, and we're going to go through 2. So, right, yarn over, 2 loops, yarn through. All right, I got to show you something. So how I'm holding my yarn is like this. Right, for some reason, this is comfy for me. I don't want to move back. This is comfy for me to hold my yarn there. I go through these and up and over, and I hold my work with my thumb and my two hands. This helps me maintain my tension. So again, when I grab it, I grab here, and I go through like so. Also been known to do this, but don't, because that's just something I do that's quirky and it causes me trouble. So again, I grab my yarn, I hold it with my pinky, I bring it over. This helps maintain tension. If you can see, I can make it go tight or loose, tight or loose, tight or loose. It's a habit. It's something I don't think about because I've crocheted for so long. And then I hold like this a lot, or like this. So if you can see how I'm holding it, do you have to hold it that way? No. I just thought I'd show you how I do it. So I grab it with my pinky, I roll it over my pointer for the tension, and I hold it. I hold my middle finger down so I don't insult anybody, and I hold my thumb like that. And then I'm going to make another single stitch, single crochet. So this stitch is single crochet. So each thing you do is a stitch, and each stitch has a name. Pull it under, 2 loops, pull it through both loops. Yay, we got a single crochet. So each stitch has a name. This is single crochet, or SC. A chain stitch, or our foundation to our wall, to our project, this here is SC for starting chain, or excuse me, SC. CH for chain. So you'll see you'll see on a pattern CH4, which would be weird, but CH10, which is chain this many. So you're going to chain 4. A lot of times they don't say starting chain, they just say chain, because they figure you know what a starting chain is, which is wrong, because not everybody knows what a starting chain is. So I got through, 2 loops, pull through, grab the yarn, 2 loops. Again, and through 2 loops. 1 loop on, through the top of the crochet, so it looks like on the back, what it looks like on the forward. You want 2 of them on there. If you have 1, you're up backwards, and through. There are crochet stitches that require you to go through the first one only, or the back one only, and we will learn that. But today we're learning single crochet. Through 1, through 2 of the top, 2 on the top of my crochet hook, 1 in the back with the starting loop, and 2 loops on. That's what it looks like in the back. Kind of funny looking. Like that. That's the back. And through both. And again. The key to crochet is practice. Like Little League. Have you ever seen those little guys go out there and play Little League with the little T-balls? They know nothing about baseball except for what they see on TV, or what their dads tell them, or what their big brothers and sisters tell them. So when they go out, they have to learn, and the way they learn is practice. That's why you have to drive them there every time. And snacks. So practice and snacks. Don't forget snacks. Through the 2, pull up, 2 loops, pull through 2. But eventually, as they get older and they practice enough, they no longer need the T. And they're able to hit the ball, mostly. Through 1, through 2, through the top 2, like so. Grab your yarn, pull through 2, pull through 2. In the front, so you have 1, 2, 3 looking loops on your hook. Grab the yarn, pull through 2. Grab your yarn, pull through 2. That is a single crochet. Look at that. Right? Looks kind of like a ladder. We're doing so good. Again, looks like you have 3 loops on your crochet hook. Pull through 2. 2 loops, pull through 2. So you're going to pull through foundation chain, grab your yarn and pull through 2 loops. Through the foundation chain, you want the top, not the bottom. Pull through, grab more yarn and through. We only have 4 stitches left, right? Pull through, like so, and that one's a little loose. I don't like it. We're going to start it again. I don't like a lot of times I do it because I am a perfectionist, and I think everything should be absolutely amazing. And why it is, I don't always see it, so I have to learn to not be so hard on ourselves, right? You are doing amazing. I am doing amazing. So, 2 loops, through, and through 2 loops. Go through the top. You have what looks like 3 loops on the hook. Grab your yarn, come through, and pull. And we're at the last stitch. And before we move on, let me show you. So this is what, you have your foundation chain right here. See the little loops down there? Right here. This is the foundation. Remember when you were pulling through 2 on the top and the 1 on the bottom? This is the 1 on the bottom. Right? Turn it over, and then if you see here and here, that's your single crochet. Let me explain to you that what they call this, right? So you've made this chain, and I'm really proud of you, right? So you made this whole thing. So you have your starting chain here and your walls, right? Your row. This would be row 1. Most of the time you don't count the starting chain as a row. It's just your foundation. This is row 1. So when you look at the loops here, if you look at the loops, the one, these are the V's. See the V? Looks like a V. Let me get this up closer. See how this looks like a V? All right, this one, the one closest to you, is considered the front loop, right? Or FLL. This is front loop. Remember we had loops on the crochet hook. It's actually a loop, but it makes like a V. So this is your front loop. This right here is your back loop. It's farthest from you. So front loop and back loop, right? There's usually a third loop, but we're not going to worry about that because that's part of your half double crochet or taller. So then if you come down here and you can see right here, See these two little, let me get back up there. These two things, these are called your post. This is the post. This is the main vertical body of the crochet, right? That's a post. That's your post, right? And then your base is this. So our base is the starting chain. That's what we started from. If we had more, the base would be this chain. So that's your base, right? And then in between here, I'm going off camera. This is the base. The base for us was the starting chain. If we had another row, which we will in a minute, of crochet, this would be the base. And then we have a space. Between every crochet, there's a space. Single crochet like we're doing, the space is littler, right? So you could actually, go through the space. So that's your post, space, front loop, back loop. Let's put my crochet back in. So now we're going to turn the work. We're going to do another row of a single crochet. So I'm going to, just like you did with your starting chain, I'm going to pull through, and I've made a single crochet. I made a chain. Do it again. Oh, let me get a drink of water. I think I'm losing my brain here. Happens. Anyway, here's your loop. It's on the body. We're going to pull through and make a chain. Some patterns want you to make a turn and then make a chain. We're going to turn. We're going to make a chain and turn. So we're going to turn the work. So it's no longer going this way. It's going this way. So you can hold it. So it's not going this way. It's going this way now. And yes, it did twist that chain, and that's okay. So see, we have our chain and it's twisted. We're then going to go back to, remember these V's? This is the top of the crochet hook. We're going to go to the next one. We're going to skip this because this is our chain. And so you're just going to skip the chain. Rarely do you want to crochet in that chain. It looks like part of the single crochet. It can be confusing. So if you look here, this is your chain, right? It's your chain. We're turning, and we're going to not crochet in the chain. We're going to crochet in the next stitch. See this hole right here? This hole? We're going to go under the top. We're going to pull forward, and we're going to pull through. So just like the starting chain, we're going to go under, and you should have what looks like 3 loops. You're going to pull forward, pull yarn forward, grab yarn, pull through, and pull through again. Under. See how that's under? Under. Grab yarn, pull forward, go to the top, grab yarn, pull through. See how that looks? So as I was saying, this is your front loop, this is your back loop, this is your post, this is the space, and then the previous crochet row that we just did here, that's your base. That's the base. So you take your crochet hook, you pull it through the space under the top of the base, pull it through, and again, so through the space, right? Under, and here you can really see the post. See the post? That's your post. Pull through. Crochet hook under the top, pull through, and pull through too. So, are they looking a little kind of crazy and not even? Great, you're doing awesome. That's exactly how it should look, because you, my friend, are crocheting, right? Everybody's first time, second time, 50th time can look a little wild, look a little crazy. Like, boy, it doesn't look like yours. Well, you're not going to look like mine until you've crocheted for as long as I have, and then hopefully yours will look better. I think you're doing amazing. So we're going to go through the top. We're going to grab crochet our yarn, pull through and through. So ready? 1, through, 2, grab some yarn, 3, pull through, 4, grab some yarn. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like exercise class, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey.
So, ready to go through. Grab your yarn, pull through, and again, pull through, or pull through. Put your crochet hook through. That's how it looks. Grab some yarn, pull through. You now have 2, 2, 2, pull through. Pull through. And again. I deliberately made you do 20 stitches so that you can really practice this. And you will get very good at it, I am sure. So, especially if you practice in between. Our next live will be next Wednesday, providing we have internet and fuel and everything. But put your hook through. See, hooks through. Grab some yarn, pull it through. You have 2 loops, and boom. Put your hook through the top. Making sound effects is a bonus. Grab the yarn and right through and through the 2. And now you can see why you want a little bit of a tip on your hook, because it actually helps push through the stitches, right? Doesn't do anything for the pull over and pull through, but we're at our last one here. So this is our last one. Through and through. Look what you did. Look what you did. Look. See? Does yours look like mine? Maybe. Probably not, but maybe. So, if you remember, we're going to chain 1. All right? Turn. We don't want to crochet into the chain. We're going to crochet into the first V. And that is a single crochet. That, my friends, is how you single crochet. I think you should just continue doing that until you're comfortable. They'll help you get used to your hook. It'll help you get used to your yarn and how to pull it through and learn your tension, how to hold your yarn so it makes sense for you. You know, if you want to hold it this way, great. Well, I don't know how. If you want to hold it that way, great. As long as you got the tension. Everybody holds their yarn just a tad different. I do it this way because it pulls through and I can hold tension. You know, I can hold tension. Somebody once asked me, I only hold up here, right? So the rest of the work is falling down, right? And she was amazed at that because she was holding all of her work in her hands by working. And you can let it fall. It's okay. All right. So you're going to practice this, right? It's going to take time for your hands to find their rhythm and to find out how much, what you're doing. I used a very big hook for demonstration purposes. Okay. I'm having you use an H, and an H hook would look like this. Through, through, through. Through, through, and through. Grab, pull through 2. Through, grab, pull through 2. Through, grab, pull through 2. Through, grab, pull through 2. Right? Can you see the difference in the stitches? These are smaller, these are definitely bigger. I would rarely use a K-hook, just because of the stuff I make. But I have used them. They're great for a lot of things. Blankets, hats. Pull through, or insert through the top, grab the yarn, pull through, and 2. Insert through the top, grab the yarn, pull through the top, and 2. Pull through 2. Insert through the top, grab the yarn, pull through 2. Insert through the top, grab the yarn, pull through 2. So if you can notice, the bigger stitches here are a little looser. The top's very big. And see how these are just a little bit tighter with a smaller hook? And there's not as much room, so it's a little harder to see your spaces. But since you are looking at the top, you can push through your 2. Grab the yarn, pull through, and then grab the yarn, pull through 2. Through under the top, grab the yarn, pull through. Grab the yarn through 2. Push through the top. Grab the yarn, pull through. Grab the yarn through 2. Through under the top, grab the yarn, pull through, grab yarn through 2. Last stitch, pull through, grab the yarn, 2. Now with the H hook, you're going to make a chain, much smaller chain. See? Turn and under the V. Pull through. See? Under the V. Under the V. Grab the yarn, pull through, grab yarn, pull through.